It's official. I'm a Floridian, no longer a Texan. Happy Friday morning on this March 5th day as I complete the total of 8 weeks with the fellowship and 7 weeks with the company. I've just completed just checking the email real quick. Now I'm going to transfer over to start with the fellowship on my personal laptop. So I'll talk at the end of all that about how things are going. Let's go. I need a haircut. I don't know if, I don't think I'm going to grow my hair out. I might grow a beard out, but I doubt I'm going to grow my hair out. It kind of bothers me. So how are things going other than my haircut? I think pretty good. Some of you were concerned in one of my last videos that I was sitting on a stool all day. So in order to alleviate that, I have bought a new device to sit on that Heather found online in our users group for the Solitude Facebook site. So thank you for those folks. But look, it's an actual cushioned stool with a back. As you can see, the space is still not very big, but it works. So I'm not going to talk to you in here right now because it's a beautiful sunny Florida Friday, like most Fridays. And I have to spend all day in this spot usually. So let's go outside. Okay, I'm outside. It's beautiful weather. 76 degrees. Perfect March temps here in Florida. So you asked me, Eric, how are things going now that you are in your actual 7th week with your company? Good. I'm very pleased with how things are going. I'm never going to stop learning. Every day, every week, I'm learning. But I'm enjoying my time. I enjoy the people that I work with. Very cordial, very professional, a very healthy culture and climate in this company. So that's good. So how are things really going, Eric? What's going on that makes me want to do Hiring Our Heroes? Forgiving is a big reason. It's a very forgiving environment. They understand where you're coming from and they want to help. And most of them, I would say all of them so far, have loved helping veterans. So in my last video I talked about networking, and I'll go ahead and link that right here. And I'm not going to talk a lot about networking today, but I will say I continue to network almost every day. And that's one of the biggest things that's, I believe, helping me adjust as I talk to different people in the company. But one of the questions everybody asks me during networking, and it's the hardest question for me to answer, and I imagine it's really hard for most veterans to answer, is, Eric, what do you want to do here? Where do you want to find yourself in a full-time position? Where do you want to land? What will you enjoy here in this company? I don't know. What exists in the company? So many veterans throughout our time in the military, we learn some terms that are used in the civilian world, like project and program manager. If you work in specific areas of the commercial world that translate to the military, it's pretty easy. The tech industry or the medical industry, finance, a lot of that translates very well. But for a lot of us who leave the military, we have no marketable upbringing, right? I'm an artillery officer. Not a lot of use for cannons in the civilian world. So where do I want to find myself? Where do I want to land in the civilian world? I'm a good leader of people, I believe. I can solve problems. I can lead teams of different folks. I just got through teaching for 2 years. It's up to you to figure out how to frame that for the folks you're talking to. So again, let me ask you, Eric, where do you want to find yourself landing in this company? So I had that conversation last night with a wonderful gentleman who's a veteran himself in this company. Has been here for quite a while, though. Has been out of the military for quite a while. And he asked me that question a couple weeks ago, and I couldn't answer it. I didn't know. I told him I don't truly know what exists in this company where I would find myself being the most valuable asset that I could be. So he gave me some homework, and I'm really glad he gave me this homework, because it made me think about who I am and what I bring to the table in any organization. He made me realize that we as veterans, especially in the past 20 years, have lived lives and had journeys that most people in this nation have only seen in movies. Even some of the most boring things we have done, they've only heard about in stories and movies. Use that to your advantage. Those were his words to me. Tell your story and how that ties to corporate America. Great advice. So his homework to me was, think of 3 things that you have done in your career and how that translates to corporate America. And then develop the story behind it that you're most proud of. Be passionate about it. Be proud of those moments in your career that you served, and tell that story to people who've never heard that kind of stuff, and explain how the military experience is valuable as it translates to the civilian opportunity. What are your 3 things you're most proud of that you can tell an engaging and exciting story about? Mine? Problem solving. I believe I'm an exceptional problem solver. 2, coaching and training people. I thoroughly enjoyed my last job teaching, but I knew before I taught that I was going to love it because of prior experiences in my career. And then 3, I didn't get to the level that I arose to in the military by not being a great leader. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but compared to a lot of the folks in the civilian community, we military veterans and retirees are phenomenal leaders. So tell your leadership story. So I thought of 3 stories that connected to each of those aspects of who I am, that excite me, that I was most proud of, that just telling those stories, you will be able to see the pride and excitement in me. So let's talk about that pride for a second. Use it to your advantage. Stop being the humble service member. I've heard it over and over again, and I just want you to hear it from me. You're looking out for you and your family and your well-being and your employment. It's not the we story anymore. It's not about how we as a team were successful in the mission or accomplished the objective. It's about you. You gotta stop being humble, and I know that's so hard. It is extremely hard for me. And I was, in a funny way, reprimanded yesterday when I was telling my story to this gentleman who's becoming my mentor. He said, "You are way too humble. Corporate America doesn't care about humility. If you want a good job, right, you just got to be proud of what you did and show people what you did. not what your team did. They're not hiring your team, they're hiring you. Okay, so I sat there for a while the other day and thought hard about those stories and crafted my storyline for each of those stories and what made them so special to me. And then I was coached again as I told those stories. Eric, you gotta bring it down, right? If you know me, I tell long stories. I gotta bring it down a notch. He said, tell those 3 stories and be able to do it in about 3 minutes. What? 3 minutes? Okay, so, right? So it's your tagline. It's, now that I got your attention, whoever I'm talking to, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself and what value I can bring to this company. Problem solving, cross-functional team leadership, and coaching and training. And let me tell you about that. And you got to hit the wave tops, according to this gentleman, and he's spot on, because if they want to know more, they're going to say, Eric, you mentioned cross-functional team leadership. Tell us more about that situation or that story. So when you're talking to folks in these informational interviews that I addressed last week, and they're going to ask you this question eventually, what do you want to do? Where do you want to find yourself? Most of you are going to be like me. You're not going to know. Focus on your strengths. Because if you can talk well about yourself and how great you are and what you've done in your career, they will then understand where your strengths align with their company, and they can point you in the right direction. One, they might just say, you're a good fit here, or let me contact you with Stacy over in this department, and I think she's got a spot for you. But you got to tell your story, and to tell it in a way they can understand you. Get rid of the military jargon. Be very low on that level, right? Speak to what they understand. As a fellow veteran told me several weeks ago, most people in corporate America don't know a corporal from a colonel. And that sounds funny, but it's absolutely true. It is phenomenal, right? We don't know about their culture. They definitely don't know about the military culture. So what do you want to do? Be able to talk about yourself. So in other news, I feel as though the past 2 weeks have been pretty good for us and for me in this company. I wasn't given a formal offer, but I was extended the hand to say, we would like to keep you on past the fellowship. We're just working on that, where you're going to fit. That's pretty awesome. The friendly hand has been extended, and now we're working through what that looks like, and I'm excited about the future in that. So in my day-to-day here, in my role, I've done a lot of things in learning. I've worked with my project manager on the project we are working on. I've actually helped give, I should say, a presentation on the project, which was pretty awesome, being able to do that. And it's been remotely, but we had to do it through the network. I'm still learning to use less harsh words. We in the military have a tendency to speak with some harsh tones and harsh words that people don't like, and we got to know that. And so I was coached by my project partner, hey, just tone it a little bit, please. So you got it. I'm learning, but that's what I love about this program. I've probably said it 20 times, is I'm learning, and that is the point of the program. Still getting paid by the Army, but I hope maybe to get paid by them one day. So now, right, I'm in this transition mode of I'm leaving the Army. I'm over halfway done with this program, and I'm trying to show them what I can do and what I'm capable of, even in these small projects. And speaking of that, let's talk about something that a lot of senior military leaders, NCOs and officers have a problem with when they enter corporate America. And I'm having some problems with humility. So we're told year after year as we get older in our careers and by the positions we attain in the military, how great we are. It's on our OERs. People tell us we tend to stay humble in talking about ourselves. That's true. But up here, we have an entitlement problem. Even me, Even I had that. I've attained a certain level, therefore I deserve certain things. They don't care. You have to have some humility. I used to command a lot of people. I thought it was pretty important. They don't care about any of that. We are so used to being self-absorbed and important in how we get to where we got in the military. But corporate America doesn't care. You have to reprove yourself. You do. You know, I'm reminded a lot, and I think my wife has told me once or twice that, hey, if you took any one of these corporate folks out of the corporation and you brought them to the military, you wouldn't just give them command of a battalion, would you? No. Same with us, veterans and retirees. They're not going to do the same with us. So today's a big day. We're on our way to the tax assessor or DMV, whatever you call it. I'm becoming an official Florida resident and getting my Florida driver's license. I've had the same Texas driver's license for, oh my gosh, we were like, I don't know, we were newly married and we were stationed at Fort Hood. I was already a Texas resident because I went to college in Texas. So I think I probably had that particular license for probably 20 years. And I've had a Texas driver's license since I think I turned 21. This will literally be, I think, only the fourth driver's license I've ever had. And you ought to see the picture I have on my Texas driver's license. I'll put that in right here. I think I was like 25 years old when we took that photo at the DMV in Texas. So a new photo today after so many years, and they're gonna get probably the hairiest head I've had in years in that photo. But all right, let's go get me a new driver's license. I love these huge, beautiful oak trees here in Florida covered with Spanish moss. My hope is we get some property with a bunch of those on it. That's one of my dreams. So here we are, the Pasco County building taxes place. I don't know, but we'll see. And pretty soon I'll be a Florida resident.
Photo 140.
Oh, probably need that off, right? Okay, all done. I'm a Florida resident, driver's license and registered voter. And even I got a pretty tan photo here. That's pretty awesome. All right. Thanks for being with me as I get my Florida driver's license. See you later.